fantastic. Claire Wasserman! Hi, I'm going to unpin us just so we get your full, beautiful face.
Yay. Oh my God. I miss New York so much. I didn't think I realized how much I miss New York until I saw you. I heard those sounds. I thought that was happening right now. That's it's like, wow, they like rented out a theater. And that was 2019.
No, I mean, we'll get there. We'll get there. We're a small operation right now. Right now, we're just a Zoom theater situation in our living room. But hi. So everybody, this is Claire and Ashley and Phoebe the cat, right? Phoebe?
Yeah.
And Claire and Ashley, this is Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Hey, Rachel's boyfriend.
Hi, welcome.
And Claire and Ashley are the founders of Ladies Get Paid, and they also have the Ladies Get Paid book, which it's gorgeous. It's fantastic. It is somewhere in my apartment. Thank you so much for sending me an early copy. I can't find if I could turn this around to see you. Do you know where it is?
I've seen it.
Yeah, that would be incredible if you found it.
Is you can buy a copy. Yay! Yeah, I hope you can't find the advanced copy because it is not the final. I mean, this is just me being a ridiculous perfectionist, but knowing that it got a little bit better, but it had already been shipped because this is how it goes. It's okay if you don't read that one. That's fine.
Book, baby. No, I did. Of course, I definitely looked at it. I read through it. I checked it out. I'm a fan. Claire and Ashley started Ladies Get Paid in 2017, 2016?
It will forever be etched in my brain. It was exactly 6 months before the 2016 election.
Oh, wow. Was it? Yeah. For some reason, I thought it was responsive to the 2016 election. But
yeah, I mean, it was me already being disturbed and frustrated and angry by things like the fact that Hispanic women make 55 cents to the dollar. So I started to host events, didn't really formalize it until after 2016 because it was clear, if no one else was going to do this, I had to do it.
And when I met you, when I started talking to you, because you had invited me to speak at one of the conferences, that was when Ashley was still at Vimeo and you were trying to cajole her to come on full time, I believe.
Yeah. How's that going for you, Ashley?
Right.
We're still in business, so that's a good thing.
Well, you have an unbelievable community, and you're amazing at community. And even if you just did sponsored Instagram posts, your Instagram posts are amazing. So Ashley knows because we have you were late to Graham. I remember when I saw you at what did we do, the Bumble shoot, and you were like, I don't really need to do Instagram. I'm not into Instagram, and now you are. Now you're.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't want to look at my screen more than I have to. And Ashley calls me like a boomer, although, I don't want to be on my screen. And then she goes, but you're losing so much money. Are you okay with losing that much money? And it's like, something that's interesting, and I don't know if you feel this way or anybody watching feels this way, but wanting to show yourself, but also, again, being somebody who is a perfectionist and, has a kind of brand, and just the balance of like, do I show the minutia of my life? Does this something, am I like putting beautifully designed quotes and headshots? So it's like, I can look through other people's and I love theirs, but it's like, I haven't quite figured out my own rhythm of the kind of content and also the commitment that I'm going to have to actually posting the damn thing.
I mean, candidly, that's what I much prefer to follow. If somebody is trying too hard to be an Instagram guru, then it's much as, oh my God, look what
Hey, good job, Ron. Good job. That makes me so happy.
You hold yours up. I'm gonna pin myself here, and then we're gonna screenshot this. Amazing, fantastic. All right, I'll go back to unpinning me because you're more interesting. Oh, hi. You want to say hi? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Did you hear that? We're too loud. Tell Ron. Like Ron's the boss of me. Anyhow, I think point being is your gram is great. Ashley's, I love being witness. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. We're sorry to be so loud. Yeah, that never happens in the reverse. But the Ladies Get Paid. I frequently will just drop a DM to Ashley and just be like I stand. You are always so good, and I know that's her. I know that that's you don't hire someone and that's, you have a rare and wonderful thing in Ladies Get Paid. You're a rare and wonderful partnership, an amazing team, and it's been wonderful to see what you've all built, including the book, which I've you know, you've posted a lot and shared a lot about, like, just how it was a labor of love and how you poured yourself into it. So
emphasis on labor. Emphasis definitely on labor.
Book baby. That's why they call it a book baby. So tell us a little bit about like, sell it. How will this help this lady get paid?
Yes. So the whole structure of it is I follow the lives of 9 real women. I do not change a single detail about any of them except for a few names. It's all real. Each one of them is going through something kind of bullshit, a professional issue. And as I tell their story, I kind of stop along the way and I coach them, right? Well, I'm really coaching the reader. So it's very much part narrative, part toolkit. It's sort of the chronology of a career, figuring out sort of who you are, what you want, right? The existential part, undoing internal obstacles, right? Which is really understanding and kind of reconciling how we're socialized. So getting rid of imposter syndrome, perfectionism, all the way up through getting into the C-suite, if that's what you want, right? Like, so what are all the steps to get there? And each chapter covers that. And the part that I think is most special about the book is the end, because it's about how do you make change at your company? And how do you lobby elected officials, right? So what are the policies that can support women? Because most of the book is about what you as an individual can do to move up and to improve, you know, and empower your professional life, which is great for you. But if you're operating within a system that is not made for us or by us, then I'm not actually helping that many people, right? So then the question becomes at the end, as an individual, can you make change? And so I give, you know, examples of other women who've done it and what you can do. So I'm already excited for the paperback version because I made updates to my appendix. So everyone will have to get that one too.
And when I'm reminded that in one of your early town halls, you had a pre-election Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Was she a speaker? Was she an attendee? I mean, this is, you have a history. You do this.
I can't believe it. I mean, so full disclosure, she's my friend from college. So I knew her. She messaged me on Facebook when I first started Ladies Get Paid and said that she was really unhappy at her job. I was actually very surprised that she hadn't gone in the direction of civic engagement. Just the way I'd met her in college was we were part of a diversity initiative there. And for, you know, she had to pay the bills. And so she was bartending. She came to the workshop that I had organized. It was with a career coach who was talking about how do you get unstuck. After the coaching session, she actually hired that coach, ended up working with me to develop workshops that taught women how to become activists. So this was the answer after 2016. And that's a longer, almost even better story of what happened in just trying to develop this program. And a year after that, she came to a town hall. She was in the audience because she hadn't done anything yet, but she wasn't like a person, you know, with a capital P. And it was a town hall called Reinvention. So it was featuring women who had made changes in their life. And Ashley actually was on the panel. We were working together then, right? No, we weren't working together then either. So I'd asked Ashley to be one of the people who spoke first. And partway through, you know, I invited people to stand up, share their own stories of reinvention. And AOC, she was known at the time as Sandy. She went by either Sandy or Alex. She stood up and she said, I have always wanted to run for office, but people who look like me don't run for office, but I am going to do it. I think she probably talked for like 2 minutes. I mean, it was really short and people erupted in cheers. I actually cried. I cried because I know her.
I'm like emotional hearing this.
Oh my God. But the reason why everybody got emotional was because it was the bravery that it takes to publicly say you're going to do something that you're probably not going to win, right? This isn't like, I'm going to go get a new job, right? This is, I'm going to go try to, you know, I don't even think she knew what office she was going to run for, but this is somebody who was like 26 at the time. And it was a full year after that, then she, you know, of course she won. And Pete, I had to tell people, do you remember that woman who stood up? And some people said, I don't remember, but some people said, no, I definitely remember. And then I said, it's that woman who just won. And so it's also been very fun for me to, you know, the 100 women that were in that at that event for them to get to feel like they were part of history too.
Yeah, that's incredible. That is amazing. I hope I would I'd love to see you and she revisit that moment and the making of what you eventually realize, like yourself, that you realize, not that you realize like, gee, I realized that thing, but like yourself, fully realized.
Yeah. And I think, the interesting part, the other thing I was going to mention is the woman, so Alessandra Biaggi, who is a state senator now, at the time she had been Hillary Clinton's, former deputy director of operations. She was the one I called after the election. I said, we have to do an event with you because I don't know what to give my community. And just even getting to feature you and have you talk about your own career, how you're processing. And we did a town hall with her. And out of that town hall, she created this class to teach women how to become activists. I then knew that AOC, it's weird to call her AOC, but AOC, I knew she wanted to get into politics. And so I connected the two of them, and all together we worked on this class. And then Alessandra said, I want to run for state Senate. And her district is in Westchester. It's neighboring on AOC's district. It's inside actually. And so then I reconnected them, and they then helped each other campaign. And Alessandra's like 33 or 34, also unseated, a man who was in his late 60s, had been there for a million years. It was a very, very similar story. So I am going to take just a teeny bit of credit for that.
Oh my God. Yes, that is amazing. Like, ladies get paid, sequel, ladies get elected.
Ashley owns the URL. Yeah, it has been done.
Of course she does. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. So what's the book? When does the book come out? What is the rollout? What is the plan? Where are you now? By the way, tell me a little bit about the Ladies Get Paid pandemic pivot / story. Like you were all events all the time, and you had that community. So I guess that's like 5 different questions. So the first is, why don't you switch that? Give me the pandemic pivot and story, how you ended up where you are, and then where the book is going.
Yes. Great questions. We're going to start with the sad part, and then we're going to get happy. So the sad part is the pandemic hit. Yes, most of our business was events based. And by most, I mean pretty much all of it. So we definitely were like, we got to lay off our employee and probably ourselves. And then we realized, what do women really need and want right now? And can we give it to them? So sort of like, let's flip the question here. It's not about how do we change our business to save our business, but can we answer what other people are asking of us, right? Yes, we can. These women want community. That can be done online. They want education, certainly financial education, professional education. They might be looking for new work. We can do that. We've always had instructors. They just did in-person workshops. We can do that online. And in fact, people need it, community even more. I mean, all these things that we were giving them, you can just scale it online. Our conference, we had 1,000 women come to our conference last year in New York. You can do a conference online. And in fact, you could have more people come. So I think the only rejiggering we needed to really do was pricing, because people are not going to pay the same as they will for online, as in person. I mean, people really expect free stuff. So then a question was, all right, can we actually make a living? Like, I know we can give people what they want. Can we also feed ourselves while we do that? And it helped. We
reconfigure your relationships with sponsors, or were sponsors still willing?
Yeah, that's a good question. So much of our revenue did come from brand partnerships who would sponsor events or work with us to create content. That has mostly dried up. They just froze their marketing budgets. I did begin to get more speaking gigs, which was very cool. I think because I didn't need to travel anywhere, and people, realized their employees, there was a big disconnect. Like, they needed to figure out what this new company culture was going to look like, and me doing events or workshops with them was going to help that. I also was very lucky, and I did get cast. I only say cast because I had to audition a few times, but I'm the host of a podcast that John Hancock produces.
Oh, right. Yes, that's
money. That came at a very good time. They gave me that gig just as the pandemic was starting. So that helped. The book helped. And now we have scale. We do enough webinars. We created a video library to house those webinars so people can get a subscription. These are things that we always thought we should do, but we didn't prioritize because we were so busy fulfilling contracts for the brands, setting, all the in-person stuff takes so much work. So this has actually been kind of a blessing. So the other good thing that we did is we did move to LA. Most of my family's here, and we had a free apartment that we could move into that my family was kind of using as storage for my grandmother's hoarding. So the deal was, we will come in, we will clean this hoarding. And by we mean Ashley will clean this and organize her hoarding. And we have a nice 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom in West Hollywood that we are infinitely grateful for. And it is the reason we have stayed in business and have been okay.
Wow. That is an amazing story. I mean, I spoiler alert, I knew a lot of that because I follow and obviously I was checking in with the people that I was rooting for, but it seems to have been a wonderful move. But yes, I can definitely feel like missing New York, but LA is pretty wonderful. I miss LA. I gotta say, I missed going other places.
I know. Well, we have that 2nd bedroom, so you are more than welcome. I just realized I did not answer the last part, which was the part that I want everybody to now do, which is go to ladiesgetpaid.com/book. It's coming out officially January 12th, but if you pre-order it now, A, that helps me get on bestseller lists, so we like that. And B, you'll see on the website, you can scroll down, give us your order number, and we'll give you 30 free days access to that video library that has all of these webinars. And it's just, it's a great gift for yourself, because you probably everybody needs to get paid, but also if you know anybody who just graduated college, like this is the book that's going to help them figure out how to start their career in a really strong way. And yes, you can negotiate in a pandemic.
So, men need to get paid? Should men?
Yeah. I mean, chances are just by showing up, they're going to get paid more. Everything here, it's interesting. All the work that I do, all my workshops, when I get brought into companies, say, well, can men come? It's like, yes, men can always come. Is this relevant to them? And I say, everything is relevant to them. I just talk about how we're socialized. It's just through the filter of, why are you telling yourself not to speak up in the meeting, right? What's holding you back? Well, a lot that has to do with how we're socialized. Why do you feel uncomfortable talking about your accomplishments? Well, that has to do with how we're socialized. So it's just, we just kind of bring it all back to how women often see themselves in society, but it is a great book for anybody who wants to do well and get paid.
I would like to both do well and get paid. So I am glad I have this, but I'm very glad that the improved hardcover, properly published version is coming my way on, I believe is it January 21st? Am I just pulling that out of the air, or
12th, January 12th? But you know what? Don't hold me responsible when Amazon messes up the shipping, because I actually got a notification that they've had trouble with shipping. They're just basically telling all these authors it may come after.
Indie bookstores, order that book from an indie bookstore, and then you don't have to deal with them.
It's available. It's available everywhere, and I just finished recording the audiobook, so that's available too.
I saw that too. Apple. I could have told you that about Apple, because we let's all Ruby will eat Apple.
I didn't know that. The engineer, as I was partway through, she said, I know you're drinking water, but I want to hold for a minute. Go take a bite of an apple. It's going to help you. Which I guess it's different than just water, right? There's something else in it. But then I'd start eating it, and she'd be like, "Are you ready to go?" I'm like, "No, I'm eating."
If you like want to brush your teeth, if it's like the middle of the day and you're like, "Oh, I just ate something. I wish I could brush my teeth." Like, have an apple.
Interesting. Okay.
Nature's little toothbrush. Anyhow, this is so exciting. I'm so happy this worked out for you to be a guest here on ZTTFTA. And best of luck with the book. I can't wait to see you help all the ladies get paid.
One other thing, because Ashley's chanting in the background, she just wants me to mention my musical theater background, since that is because I did go to Stage Door Manor, which folks may have heard of. I definitely wanted to be an actress, which my mother jokes that I have become an actress, but I'm playing my favorite part, which is me. I was like, all right, fair enough. But I just want to tell a super quick story about Barbra Streisand, because I think you'll get a kick out of this. My dad, who was an editor for many years, knew her socially, and somehow we got an invite to her home in New York. And I remember her asking me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was probably 6 or 7. I don't think I was more than 7. And I said, "I want to be an actress." And she leans down, I remember this so vividly, and she said, "Well, how are you with rejection? Like, how do you do with rejection?" And my response was, "Well, if I don't get the part, then I must not have been right for the part." She was like, "Okay." But she's right. I don't do well with rejection. Therefore, I'm not an actress. But that was her question to me, which fair enough.
I remember when I like hearing her rewritten words to "I'm Still Here," that Marvin Hamlish rewrote especially for her. And then like about how, and when they hear you're directing, all you hear, everybody says no, everybody says no. Anyhow, I love Babs. Love Yentl. As far as I'm like, Yentl is one of the great accomplishments of like sheer will.
Yes.
Against an entire machine. And also Mandy Patinkin's butt on that screen was my first.
Put it in the queue. Put it in the queue. All you had to say was Mandy Patinkin's butt. Well, thank you for having me. And thank you for having me last minute and for letting me kind of crash what looked like was really, really fun. And I'm glad I caught the last song.
It is. It's about to become even more fun because we have all these Santa Claus songs from First Degree BMI. But now we're also going to eat pizza. So so great to see you. Bye, Ash. Bye, Phoebe. And I can't wait to